Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm trying to move this so I don't topple my camera. Okay. How's everybody doing today? Good morning. Hi, Linda. Hi, Amy. Hi, Trudy. I saw somebody else on there too, but my comments aren't whole. Let's see here. I think I saw... Hi, Tina. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hi, Sharon. Patricia, thank you guys for sharing, for joining me today. Sorry I'm running a little late. Good morning, Sherry. Hope you're well. Hi, Adrian. We just got back from lacrosse camp. 4 days this week. Tomorrow's our last day. Good morning, Jan. Hi, Carol. Hi, Denise. Missed you guys. So today we're going to make a simple 3 cards. We're going to use, this idea is not mine. I got this from a really cool, I'll explain in a minute, but we're going to use Moving Forward. The Rainbow Stamper doesn't know I'm using this, so nobody tell him. But what I did was, when you're a demonstrator, so back up one step. When you're a demonstrator, first of all, you get a discount on whatever you buy, which is pretty awesome. Right now, the starter kit, you can get an extra bundle for free. So a stamp and die or a stamp and punch bundle for free. In addition, you get $125 for $99, which is really great. You can pick anything you want, so totally custom kit. It ships for free. You also get a paper pumpkin, but you also get, every Tuesday we do updates, and every Tuesday they send out an email with ideas. So this one I decided to use last Tuesday's idea because it's these adorable little cards. So I'm going to show you guys how to make these cards today. One of them is like super simple. One of them is like slightly stepped up simple. And the third one is just a little less simple, but really they have the exact same layout. The only thing I don't have is they've used some DSP in the background, which I don't have, so we're going to kind of have to improvise with that. But I think it'll be really cute. So they use, let's see, Real Red and Pool Party, and what is this other one? Bermuda Bay. So I'm going to get those out. So we have Bermuda Bay, Real Red, and Pool Party. I think you could also swap out Seaside Spray if you didn't have it. And if you wanted something a little different, I think you could go with just Jade, which would look really nice as well. So for all of you who participated in my DSP share, this is a great way. You can use a little piece of DSP. It's kind of hard to see with the glare, but use a little piece of DSP on these 3 cards. When we're finished today, I will post the measurements, but they're all 3 the same card with the same paper and everything. So you cut 3 things and you'll be done. You'll have 3 cards that look totally different, but they use essentially the exact same supplies. So for the card, you'll need a piece of Whisper White that's 3 3/4 square. So 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then we'll just do with the rest of it. So good morning, Deborah. Thank you for joining me. Look, I'm late for you. It's 7 a.m. You probably finally caught me on time since I'm at 10 instead of 9:30. Also, since I'm on the subject, today we as demonstrators get to download. So anybody that's on here that's a demo watching, I think we have like 4 hours left. I think it's 4 or 5 until we get to see the August to December mini catalog, which is basically the holiday catalog. So we can download it today. So I am going to be putting up, I have already reactivated my paper and ribbon share form, but I have to change the prices because I don't know anything yet. So if you go to my website, which is rachthestamper.com, there is a paper that says shares. Now that one is going to say the 2021 annual catalog share, so I still have the wrong link on my blog, but it will take you to the new form. So you can pick on there. I will put the prices, but I don't know anything's going to cost yet because I don't know how much paper is in it. But I'm going to do a paper share and a ribbon share. So anybody that missed on the annual catalog share, this is the next one that we're going to do. I know it's a little early, but remember, you can always take part in the share, which is great, and then you can use the paper when you need it. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, where did I put it? Because I moved some stuff out to make room. But the, oh my gosh, I'm totally losing my train of thought here. What is it that I'm looking for? Oh, the, hopefully, the brightly gleaming paper, I think they were saying is coming back. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm also excited because there's a couple things which we should be getting back again stamp-wise. So I know, I can't wait. It sounds ridiculous. We just got a catalog and I'm like, ooh, but the holiday stuff. I don't know why. I think with this like Corona-cation that we're all on where we can't do anything, I think having like new things will be really exciting to see. So anyway, so remember, if you are a demonstrator, you do get to look at that, download it today. If you join my team as a demonstrator, you can also download it, and then we'll be able to order from it July 1st. So I will be collecting payment for the DSP ribbon share probably on June 30th. I just have to get all of the paperwork up and together. So yay! I'm so excited about that. I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I love Halloween and Christmas, and even though it's really far away, the nice part is they moved the catalog up a little bit, so especially for, hopefully for back to school, we'll be able to order the stuff and be able to make the projects instead of making them once the kids are already in school. Hopefully they're going back to school. I really hope so for the kids' sakes. I'm personally, you know, we have to adapt, whatever. I don't know. Won't it be exciting? We'll see if there's gnomes. I'm like crossing my fingers for gnomes too, Debbie. That'll be super, super, super exciting. But I really think the kids, I know they want to go back to school and see their friends. So that's a huge thing for me. Also, by the way, Debbie, since I happen to see your name on there, I mailed out all of the prizes that we drew from the week before last. I mailed them all out on Saturday. So hopefully you guys should be getting them this week if you haven't gotten them already. Corona-cation. You know, I don't want to say it's not really a vacation. We know that it's not, it's a staycation, but with Corona. So Corona-cation, there you go. I just made up my whole new thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I don't have any of the supplies cut, so I do apologize for that because I just decided I was going to do this morning. So I have to cut the paper and we'll have to figure out what we're going to do for the DSP. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do, let me see, because first of all, let me make sure I know where my DSP is. But these should all be pretty simple cards because, and it looks like it's frozen on here. Is it frozen on real life? Uh-oh. Let's see. Let me see if it just froze on my aspect here. Make sure I'm still live. Hopefully I'm still live. I know a couple people dropped off. Oh, this is so maddeningly frustrating. Not frozen. Okay, thanks, Pam. Because I'm looking at myself on here and I'm like, it's frozen. Thank you guys. Okay, appreciate it. All right, let me grab... We may have to use like an unusual paper that really doesn't go with that, but we're going to see because I have a whole entire packet of In Good Taste. I think I have a whole packet here of the For the Good paper. Let's see. You know what I should have done is brought my daggone box of Stampin' Up that I got. I got a box. We're going to have to use this for now because I can't find any of the rest of the stuff. So, I'm going to open this up. Whole pack. This paper, if you haven't gotten it, is so beautiful. It's got so many great patterns. So, I'm going to see if I can just show you a few of them. Has some really nice patterns on it. We could use this for the back. There you go. We'll just use this one. This one's kind of looks like a little bit of a tweedish kind of print. It's not Swedish, it's tweedish. There's another one that can tell I get really excited when I get online here with you guys because I miss you all so much. There's another one that actually worked pretty well too. It's a pretty neutral pattern. So we'll see which one looks better. So that's like almost looks like a cotton blanket. Oh, and even this one would be good. Okay, I'm going to just stop at those three pieces. So we have our colors. We have our stamp set. Let me just move a few of these things out of the way. All right, so I'm going to take you guys out and flip you down. From melting hot Florida. Oh my goodness. You know what, Kathleen? It was actually melting hot here this week as well. So keep looking away. I'll tell you when we're all situated. Make sure I have you in there correctly. Okay, one other thing I want to say, just in case. My phone, which is super duper old, that's the one that you're currently watching from. We're straight and all flat now, so if you need to look back, you're all clear. Is really being a stinker. I have tried to record 2 of my videos and for my club, and it cuts off when I get 60% through, so I'm hoping the battery doesn't croak, so fingers crossed. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to use, so they did smoky slate for the background, so we're going to make these exactly like they have them listed, except our DSP is going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to grab 1 whole sheet. I think this is a 1.5 and a 1/2, so that's going to be our base. And then we need some Whisper White. Oh, brand new package. Let me cut this open. And we're going to use some Whisper White. And the only thing we're going to do is we're just going to cut the papers differently for the layers. That's it. So it's really, really simple. I'll post this for you guys when we're finished. So our DSP, they want it to be 3 inches by 5 inches. Grab my trimmer. And you know, with this one, I think just because it'll be a little different, I think I'm going to go with this. I don't know. Do I want that or do I want... I don't know. I'm going to do these. The one with a little bit of blue. Just because it'll give a different contrast. So I'm going to put these 2 on the side. We're going to go with this, which the other side is really a cool pattern too. That's probably the hardest thing about this DSP is that both sides are really nice. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to pick what you think is the best side. So luckily there's 2 sheets of each, but sometimes that even doesn't help us out. All right, so we're going to move this to 5 inches. So I'm just cut a 5-inch strip. And then, you know, we're going to use this side. So we're going to cut this 3 by 5. So 1, I'm going to cut this one to 6, and then I'll just cut this in half. So we should have, you actually could make 4 because these should all be the same. Yep, so 1 piece you could actually technically get 4 cards out of. So that's going to be our base, or our layer, I should say. And this needs to be scored. Let me slide this in here. Score this one at 4 1/4. Let's make sure that measures correctly. Yep, 5 1/2. And I'm going to go ahead and score this as well. Score this one at 4 1/4. And slide it in and cut at 5 1/2. So we'll have all 3 bases the same. So we have 3 bases, 3 layers. So all that's ready. And then our Whisper White piece is going to measure 3 3/4 square. So 1. You are going to need the trimmer because you're going to have to do a little bit of something to one of these. This is an extra. Do 1 more. Okay. So you could use these for whatever. You actually could cut this and make your 4th card with it. Okay, so we have that. All right, so now all we're going to do, I'm going to put this down for now. Because what we will do first is we will do the helicopter card. And I think the only other thing they have is memento. That's the 4th ink. Okay. So we're going to start with our regular square panel card first. So we're going to stamp our memento. And let me grab our stamp set, our helicopter. Haven't used this yet at all. think these blocks should work. And we're going to kind of put the, make sure you can see what I'm doing here. We're going to kind of put the helicopter kind of up here a little bit in the top right. Now, I am stamping on a mat that's underneath of this, but if you don't have one, what you want to do is you definitely want to stamp on, this will be coming back in stock, the Stampin' Pierce mat or some sort of a foam mat or a stack of catalogs, because the photopolymer stamps, they don't have cushion, so you need to give them cushion, okay? The other thing you want to do when you stamp it, we'll bring him up. Oh, I smudged already, son of a gun. Might have to flip this over. Is you want to give it a second before you lift up your stamp. Let's see. Nah, I'm just going to go with it. It's okay. So we have our outline there. And then we also want to add our banner. Let's see if we can fit him. I think I need one bigger. So we're going to add our banner. Same thing, Memento ink. All right, there's that. What I need to grab is grab my little microfiber cloth so I can get some of the ink off of my fingers. Okay, so now we're going to grab It's Your Day. You could do anything. I'm actually going to make this, yeah, we'll do It's Your Day. We'll keep it as it is. We'll make these absolutely identical except for the DSP. So I believe they did, I think they did Pool Party. This keeps cutting off and it's making me nervous, so I hope I'm still on. Pool Party for your words. Nice part is you can ink it up and you can line it up right where you want it. I feel like they might have done Bermuda Bay, but pretty well lined up. Then I'm going to take my clouds. And I'm going to slide the comments over just to make sure you guys can still hopefully hear me. And I'm going to add just some clouds randomly. I'm going to put one over top of this little black spot to try to cover it. Thank you for telling me. I know this is probably the most annoying thing ever. We're like, am I still on? But my iPad that I'm watching the comments keeps cutting off, which is massively annoying. So thank you guys for putting up with this. I can't imagine if someone kept asking me, am I still on? I would be like, lady, get your act together already. So we have some clouds very randomly. I have probably more than what they have. So the last thing we're going to do for this one is, let me grab my red ink. We're going to fill in the helicopter with red. And while I'm at it, I'm going to just wipe this off. Keep one of these out. Just put him on the side. Now, if you have a new stamp like this, specifically one that's solid, you can kind of tap it onto your hand because it kind of helps to get rid of some of the marking that may make it not ink in solidly. You can also wipe it off, so clean it really well. And you can also, if you really have trouble, since I haven't used this before, hopefully it's going to work out okay, you can actually ink this in Versamark and then the red ink, and it kind of helps it a little bit. So see if we can line this up pretty exactly. Looks pretty good. Hopefully I'm pretty close. Well, I'm glad you think I'm at least funny. Penny, thanks for that. All right, so there is that. And then the only other thing I forgot one was Smoky Slate, and we're going to do that for the helicopter blades. Okay, let me close up the red. Put him back, and I'll just grab the blades. Okay, and let's, before we line this up, I want to make sure they're in the correct direction. So we'll stamp this, the blade fill in gray. So, really, pretty simple and cute. Whatever happened? No bra. Oh my goodness. I gotta do that one, don't I, Denise? See, I need you guys to remind me of these things. We need to set that up for sure. That needs to be like a Friday night stamping thing. So who's free on Friday nights? I guess we probably could do Saturday nights, but I'm just thinking logistically, am I going to be able to escape my family long enough on Saturday night is probably not a probability. So we might have to do that on a Friday night, which I think sounds fun. All right, I'm going to just wipe all these off so I kind of have them slightly where they're supposed to be. Let me close this up. So this is going to be card number 1. Okay, so let me grab my base. So your base, this is a very simple card. Your base is Smoky Slate. You have your little piece of DSP, and then we're going to put this on with some dimensionals, okay? So let me grab. The other thing that was kind of funny, oops, that happened the other day. I was, oh goodness, I realized there's smudges down there. I'm probably getting that everywhere. I was recording a video. This was the first botch that happened before my camera just kaput on me. And again, this phone is super, super old, but I'm like, well, I just plug it in and then I unplug it and film. That looks pretty well lined up. My glue, when I squeezed it, was squeezing all over the entire thing. Oh my gosh, you guys, I made such a mess. But I had already filmed so much of the video, I didn't want to stop. It was horrible. And I was kind of laughing as I'm explaining it. And then when the video cut off in the middle, oh, there was a little cursing that went on at that point. I'm like, what is going on with me? I don't understand. I'm giving these a few extra dimensionals just because I want it to stay up kind of nicely. So if this is too many or dimensional overkill for you, you can obviously tone it down a little bit. Let me just pull these off. So what I should do is I'm going to have to get the rainbow stamper to go back and to make his version of this card. And then we can have some sort of a judging competition. All right, so all those are off the back. So I just popped this up on dimensionals, and I'm going to put this here. Thinking after the fact, what I probably would have done is stamped this in Coastal Cabana so it stuck out a little bit more, but easy card, right? Super duper easy. So there's card number 1. Okay, so now for the second one, now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this into squares for the second one, okay? Because this is going to be the one that has the 4 cars. All right, so we're going to be doing some repeat stamping. So if you wanted to, you could get out your Stamparatus, but I'm going to just go with the flow. So we're going to cut this down to 1 7/8. So that is 2 marks before the 2-inch. And we're going to do it this way. So these are going to be 1 7/8 square. And I really need to make sure before I put these papers down that I wipe off my work surface. So, all right, so there's those 4. I'm going to take these 4. I'm going to hold them together so I don't ruin them. And then real quick, I'm going to wipe this off. Make sure I don't have any pool party. Okay, so for this one, it's kind of similar in we're doing a pattern. So you could have probably done this ahead of time if you wanted to, but sometimes I feel like when I put these as a whole and cut them, if they're supposed to be separate, they don't look exactly as good as I wanted them to. So we're going to go with the road piece. So same thing again. I'm going to kind of sticky them up with my hand, wipe it off because I haven't used it before. And it should fit on here really, really nicely. As a matter of fact, to save myself some aggravation, I'm going to put this onto just a little scrap. That way when I stamp, I hopefully won't smudge it. So I'm going to ink this up with Memento. And we're going to do the same thing for all 4 of them, okay? So again, you want to let this sit. There's 1. Two. This guy kind of looks like he's going uphill a little bit. That's me driving after too much coffee. 3. And 4. Okay, so there are those. Then we have our car. So I'm going to stamp the outline of the car in Memento as well. So I kind of just, you can rub like your thumb over it. Okay. So you only want 3 cars. And I'm going to just do my best to try to line these up so the wheels are kind of on the road. 1. 2. I'm doing pretty well so far. Something's bound to go wrong. Just wait for it. Something's going to go wrong. 3. All right, and then the last one is going to have words, and I am going to do it in Bermuda Bay this time because I think it'll be a little bit more fun. But what did we put on this one? That one says way to go. All right, let me just take a peek. I want to make sure there's nothing else that needs to be stamped in black. No. So we do still have our clouds. So I'm going to pick up the cloud again. And I'm going to do this once again with Pool Party. But this time I think I'm going to stamp it off. So there is a cloud on every single image. Just a little one. Doesn't have to be anything major. This one will make a little darker. And stamp this off. Okay, there is that. Let me close this up. Now I'm going to grab my Bermuda Bay and add the sentiment. And that one is going to go right, let's see if I can make this a tiny bit straighter, right at the bottom. Way to go. Whoop, that is totally crooked. Is it? Yeah, maybe it's not. It's not me if it's not crooked though, so we'll have to see. Close enough. That's okay. All right, and then the last thing we're going to do is add in the inside color of our car, which again is red. So it's kind of cool because everything here, we're really just sticking within, I'm going to leave that one there. We're really just sticking within these same blocks of color. So that way you can kind of make a ton of cards that way because you don't really have a ton of supplies that you're using. You're just banging out a bunch of cards. All right, so again, we have our red. I say it's a bug because I love bugs. We're going to say it's a bug. And I clean that off, and then I'm going to just do the same thing. So we don't need it for this one. Okay, we're going to do our best to line this up. Ink it in. Okay, same for this one. Line it up. It's nice with the photopolymer since you can see through it. That's the one part I like the best. Photopolymer stamps, I will say though, as an overall, are not my favorite. I don't know why. I physically like the red rubber stamps better. Oh my gosh, they turned out really, really, really cute. And if you wanted to, you could even take your Seaside Spray marker, and you could do that for all of these. And you could fill in so you could see like the window on the helicopter and the windows on the cars. That'll be kind of cute too. So I won't do it because it doesn't look like that, but otherwise that's essentially what you would do. So we have those pieces. I have to make, maybe my 4th card will have colored in windows. Okay, so same thing we're going to do again. We're going to fold our base, move this over. So we have our base card again, Smoky Slate, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to put our DSP piece down. These would be great cards for kids too. Oh, thanks for joining. Even if you're late, it's okay. You didn't really miss anything except me asking the same question 500 times, so no worries. All right, so the way this one's lined up is you have your way to go in the bottom. You can kind of put these however you want. So see if we can get if these two line up. That way it kind of looks like the same road. Okay, and I am going to put all of these up on dimensionals. So, of course, I have since put my dimensionals in a spot I cannot see them. There they are. Okay, so I'm just going to flip them over. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 and then line the other 2 up, okay? So, let's see. 1, 2, 3. I'll just do 3 on these. Kind of spreading them out in a slightly triangular fashion. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm going to give these a nice press. All right, and then I'm using my paper, my super old paper piercer, but if you guys have a take your pick tool, that works really well also. All right, so I'm going to kind of set this. I'm not pressing this at all. I'm kind of just setting because I want to see if I line them up approximately, do they slightly fit? So let's see. 2, 3. Now you certainly could go ahead and get out your T-square or whatever if you wanted to make sure they're lined up exactly, but if you guys have watched this channel ever before here on Facebook, or if you're watching after the fact on YouTube, you know I am not really a liner up kind of person. I'm just kind of a fly by the seat of her pants, get it done kind of stamper. All right, so these roads match up pretty well. I think I did a pretty good job with that. Oops. Move that down just a smidge. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to give them a press. So there is, except for that dimensional, card number 2. Super fun. Now, remember, this is just as is. Simple, simple stamping cards. We have 5 colors, black, and then 4 colors. We're making really easy cards. You could always make these way more exciting. You could add some Wink of Stella to the clouds or to the cards. You could, again, as we said before, take your Seaside spray marker and color in the windows. You know, so many things you could do. You could add some embossing to it if you wanted to, but otherwise, pretty easy cards, okay? So here are our first 2. As you can see, I got another smudge down here, so I probably need to cover that up with something, but so for the last one, I'm going to try to make sure that my hands are absolutely clean and minimal whoopsies. Okay, so for the final one, we have this third card here, which has 3 strips instead. Okay, so yes, super fun cards. You know, Tammy, you know why I got this stamp set, because the Rainbow Stamper saw the train and was like, what? So now we're going to cut these into, so it's going to be 3 3/4, which is what it measures. We're going to cut it into 1 1/4 strips. Okay, so I move these 2 over so I can hopefully not ruin them. Keep this out just in case. So 1 1/4. And 3 strips like that. 1 1/4. Cut this one here in the middle at 1 1/4. All right, so we have 3 pieces, 1 1/4. You know what I think it is? I think it's just one of those iPad things where if you don't touch it, it times out. I don't know. iPads are so strange. You think they would do everything exactly the same as the way everything else works, but it just never seems to be that way, does it? All right, so I have my train track. Now, you could put yours on a block that's big enough, but I'm going to just put mine kind of straight across. So just depends on preference. So we have that. And let me wipe this off because I'm going to need to assemble my trains to make this as simple as possible. So we have our engine. Okay, there's the engine. And then the other car is just basically the same car, but it's stamped with different stuff on top. Okay, so you have, it's a gondola car, but you could also make it into something else. So I'm going to put him on here. So here he is. We have that. And the only other thing we have are words. So we're going to be pretty good with that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with our train tracks. And I'm going to once again stamp these on a piece of scrap paper just in case I roll off. So I'm going to stamp all the way across the entire bottom. So the best way I'm going to do it is I'm going to start to one side. Oops. Didn't put the whole track on there. And Christian would be super unhappy if I didn't. So we're going to have to flip that and start over. Let me move it up just a little bit. One side. Doing my best. Again, I'm not doing like an ace job of lining it up only because it's kind of hard to see with the camera, but you could totally make this a little bit easier if you're taking your time and nobody's filming you. So there's 2. That's a little close, but that's okay. 3. Okay, so we have those 3. Then I'm going to stamp all of the train cars. Okay, so I have my caboose. I'm sorry, my engine first. Lord, it's a good thing he's not up here listening to me. He'd probably be correcting me while I was stamping. So engine first. And we're going to stamp him over a little bit. And then pretty much every single other thing is just the cars. Stamp this first, make sure it's inked okay. Yep. So I have car. Nothing like being critiqued by a 6-year-old, right guys? 3. And up top, they only had 2. You know we're living the life up here being critiqued by children. 1 and 2. Okay, so that looks nice. Let me just wipe this off because I'm going to need this block again. So we have here, let's see what we have. I think this is just, it is, holy cow, how simple is that? It's just the cloud. So all they did was use the cloud. So I'm going to close up my memento because I believe I'm finished with that. We're going to fill in the smoky slate first. So it's kind of like every other is going to have a little dome of something in it, but I'm going to make it a little bit different. So I'll stamp that one off. And then this full strength, this full strength, middle is blank. Now we're going to close up the smoky slate and we're going to add in now our car. Take him off. It might be a little tiny bit too small, but we're going to make it work. Okay, so we're going to go back to the pool party. Same thing again. It's going to kind of go like tic-tac-toe. See what it looks like. Good. All right, so 1. Whoop, that's a little off center. 2. Much better. 3. Okay, so there are those. They worked out really well. Now all we have to do is add in the train. So again, the train is another one that's a nicely solid image. So just make sure that you, before you stamp this for the first time, that you kind of prep it. So again, I just do like the hand, kind of muck it up a little bit, clean it off. And then we have to get out our red. And I'm going to test this just because it's a solid stamp. Pretty good. Okay. So I'm just stamping my engine. Cool. Wow, that turned out super good. Okay. Throw that over. And I feel like there was something here. It looks like, oh, here we go. Teeny, teeny, teeny. This is a little smokestack. I don't know if this is going to fit because of how I put this on, but I'm going to stamp it anyway, just for the effect of it. Hopefully it'll work. Thanks, Tina. If only these were my idea, right? But they are cased. I'm going to stamp this right here. So it kind of shows. So at least you have like a little bit of something there. All right, the only other thing we have to add to this are the sentiments. So for this one, they wrote thanks, and it looks like they did so much, which I believe is one entire stamp. So I'm going to show you, if you don't want to cut your stamps up, what you can do. So let's see. Yep, thanks so much. So you could do this 2 ways. If you feel confident, you could totally cut this stamp in half. But if not, here's your alternative. So what we're going to do is, so the so much is going to go here, so we'll do that one first. So I'm going to just take a piece of, hopefully sticky purple tape. You could also use a Post-it note. So I have that, and I kind of just covered up the whole thanks. Okay, so I have it basically masked except for so much. So I'm going to ink it up. Now I'm just practicing because I want to make sure the words look okay. So I know it's going to be globby. So much looks good. So we're going to ink it. We're going to peel this off. And because I kind of over inked it, I'm going to try to be super careful. So much. Okay, so there's one. Then clean it off. You can't use this over again, so I'm just holding this so I didn't drop it. We're going to take a different piece, and now we're going to mask off the so much. See if there's a little piece here. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to ink up the thanks because I want to make sure it looks okay. Yep, looks good. All right, so here's this piece. This one is where we're going to put the thanks. So I just inked it up again, and I'm going to pull off this tape. Missed a little tiny bit of my K, but otherwise it looks pretty good. And then throw this in the trash. So you could do that with a Post-it note. Now, one other thing you could do as well, just in case you've never done this before, if you happen to have the marker, what you could do is you take the side of your brush tip and you kind of just rub onto the part you want. Like that. And let's see if I can put it on a spot here where you will be able to see it. And you see you only get the thanks. So you can also use your marker. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. Just depends on what supplies you have. But I did it that way just in case maybe everybody doesn't have all of the pieces. That's pretty much the only reason. And was this? Yeah, this is Bermuda Bay. I'm looking and realizing my markers are in the wrong place. So I'm going to move this over. I think we're finished with these colors. So let me slide these back in so I have a little bit more room. Close this up. Looks like that's probably about it. Yes, so then we're going to just put this one together too. Okay, so same thing again. I'm going to just put a little bit of liquid glue here. Lay this down, approximately centered. Again, it does not need to be perfect. None of us are perfect crafters. Just do your best. What honestly matters more than anything is that you put in the effort to attempt to make the card, right? So go so much. Thanks. Now, one other thing I want to show you, because we did these, you don't even have to pop these up on dimensionals, okay? You can lay them flat. But since they are very simple cards, and for me, this is exceptionally simple stamping, I figured I would just pop them up just a little bit, okay? So that's the only reason I did that. So I'm going to just flip these guys over, and I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on each one. Say one. And then just like that. So I'm just going to press them down really nicely, pull all these up. Oops, missed that one. Okay, so I'm going to do, again, kind of same thing where I'm attempting to say, like, is this for the most part in the middle? I'm not pushing hard at all. I'm just kind of gently setting it down. Making sure they're slightly, oops, spaced together. There you go. So again, same thing with this one. If you want to make this a little bit more exciting, you could add some Wink of Stella to this. You could color in, so what you could have also done is if you didn't want these to be white, you could stamp the top of them dark with the smoky slate and then stamp the inside so it was light, so stamp it off before you do it. You could also use your marker to color them in if you wanted to add a little something to the wheels. Lots and lots of different things that you could do. This was actually gray granite that wasn't smoky slate. For some reason, I don't have the smoky slate marker. I think I must have missed that when they put that one out as a single. So That's the only marker that I'm missing, is Smoky Slate. But these cards were absolutely adorable. Again, I will post all of the measurements for this onto my blog. That way you guys can make this as well. This was a super easy tutorial that Stampin' Up! Shared, which is another great reason to be a demonstrator because you get lots of fun ideas. They send out simple things that you could use these for classes. You could use them just to basically whip out a whole bunch of cards for a stamp set that maybe you kind of didn't really have a whole lot of ideas for. So lots of fun stuff that you can do with these stamp sets. I love this set. I got it specifically for Christian because he loves trains. And so I'm going to let him do another card with it. But again, we use the same supplies for everything. Only thing that was different here is if you have the Smoky Slate DSP that comes in the packs, you could use the dots instead. But I think this kind of worked out fun in the background just because it was something different. So use what you have. Make a bunch of cards. We use the same layout, all the same pieces of paper. So 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. This one was cut into squares. This one was cut into strips. Super duper easy. Just pick a couple colors that you think go together. And I think this would look really nice in so many different palettes. So I thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thank you so much also for joining me late. Barring nothing that I completely forgot about, I should be back at my normal time next Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, which I think I said the past 3 weeks, and I have disappointed you. But at least we were able to make something together, so that was really fun. I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful day. Again, make sure you stay tuned to my website later, rachthestamper.com, because I will post more information about the DSP share. I will also post that here on Facebook. And if you are watching this after the fact on YouTube, if you go to either my blog at rachthestamper.com or you follow me on Facebook, there will be a picture of what I can share with you from the new catalog. That's also another perk of being a demonstrator, is that we don't really share a lot of things out. So it's a great way for you, if you would be able to see what we have to share, join my team through the end of the month. So through June 30th, 2020, you get to pick an extra free stamp set and punch bundle or stamp set and die bundle. So that's an added bonus to the already great joining bonus. Don't have to sell anything. You don't have to make videos. You can just simply join for the discount. Lots of people do that. Also, another thing is if you have, through the month of June, a Stampin' Up! Party, an online party of $250, earn $25 more in Stampin' Rewards. That's $25 more in free stuff. So if you would like to do that, if you'd like to have an online party or you know someone who would, please contact me via email at rachthestamper@gmail.com. It also can just be on a personal order. If you have a lot of stuff that you want to get and maybe a group of your friends want to order together, you can do it that way as well. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, a great rest of your week. I hope the sun is shining where you are, and I hope that you have something that really makes you happy today. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching.